What's up, everybody? How's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP. Being joined with Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of David Benavidez, who got a big win over the weekend, taking Caleb Plant to the distance. But I feel in a fight that, when you look at it, Jose, David dominated the second half of that fight and really put it on Caleb Plant. You being there, you being in the corner, how would you assess the way David fought?
You know, I'm very happy, very proud of the performance that David had Saturday with Caleb Plant. I mean, I said it from the beginning. Caleb Plant's a good fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. He has very good feet, good IQ. And I knew the first rounds were going to be hard. Maybe I thought 5, 6 rounds, man, maybe even 6 rounds, you know, but we weren't going to let that happen past 6, 7 rounds, you know. The plan was, you know, to get him tired, because we know that he gets tired. He has a lot of muscle, so we were, you know, kind of get him flinchy, you know, kind of get him a little bit to throw, move without him knowing, you know, make a move, make him panic a little bit, and then like in the 4th round, that's when we were going to start working and try to attack that body. So at first, you know, he was fresh, he was putting his hand out, and David couldn't touch him. He tried to throw the jab, and he would see that jab and get away from that jab. He was just moving, has great legs and all that. So everything worked well, and we adjusted, and everything. I mean, you can see what happened. You know, after the 1st round, he got him with the body shot. 5th round, he came back and throw more punches. 6th round, David just came and now it was time to attack.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of fans wondered that, hey, what's going to happen the second part of the fight, given that Caleb in the Canelo fight slowed down a lot when it came to round 6. We saw the same thing kind of play out. But in those first few rounds, were you guys concerned that, you know, Caleb was getting these rounds and that the fight might get away from you guys point wise?
No, we were not concerned at all. Like I said, we had a plan. We had to get him tired in order to catch him. Like I said, he's very athletic. He trained like never before in his life. This was a fight that he needed to win, and we needed to win. So that's why we also trained super hard. We were super focused, but we had to give something. We had to give him confidence also, you know. And as soon as David started attacking, his legs disappeared. And that was exactly what we were trying to do. We took his legs away, and then we went to work.
The clinching was a big thing of this fight. It had me thinking actually too, if I know the clinching was to stop David's pressure, stop having David get Caleb to the back of the rope so he could release his combinations, but it also made me think that it made Caleb work a lot more than probably he's used to also.
And that was the plan. We had to make him work without him knowing, so we could get him tired. And like I said, you know, that was everything that we did. You know, I've been studying Caleb Plant for almost 5 years. And like I said, he's a dangerous fighter. He was beating Canelo, and he was up in the scorecards. He was doing the same thing, you know. And then Canelo just got him also kind of like in the late rounds with the big punch, and that's it. That's what happened. So to us, I think Eddie Hearns now is talking about, look what Canelo did to Caleb Plant, you know. You know, it's a different fighters, different thing, you know. We send them to the hospital. Canelo didn't send them to the hospital. Canelo, it was one shot, you know, and I think he was losing the fight, to be honest with you. It just happened that he hit that one shot. He was super frustrated. Now they're trying to make it seem that he looked better than David. David still give him a beating, you know. It was an exciting fight. It was a good fight. You know, people were super happy. Everybody was happy. Stop making excuses. Let's make this fight happen. I think David deserved the respect and the opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, I'll touch on that. But yeah, that's one of the other things I wanted to talk to you about. Seeing interviews where people were saying hey, Canelo did a lot better against Caleb Plant. Look at what a smaller Canelo did. He was able to knock him out. Look at what this bigger guy and David couldn't do that Canelo could do.
Well, in my beliefs, I think David gave him a beating. You know, like I say, he had him hurt a lot of times. Poor guy. They should have stopped the fight, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for the referee, man, I think David would have stopped them earlier. And he was saving them a lot, you know, and he was protecting them. And and doing a lot of things, man, that I was even telling him, dude, you can't let him keep his hand out, you know? He's grabbing. But that guy never paid attention to me. He was protecting Caleb Plant when he was hurt. He saved him a lot of times, and he was protecting Caleb Plant, you know? Um, I think people should really see what happened with that referee that night.
Yeah, how frustrating was that? Because I know on Twitter and just talking to everybody, you know, they were really critical about how the referee handled those clinching situations. How frustrating was it for you, and how frustrating was it for David?
It was super frustrating for me. David, you know, he got a little upset, but not really. You know, we knew that we had to prove ourselves and we had to fight these two people. We were that night we were fighting two guys, not just one guy. So we didn't really let that bother us. I tried to do as much as I could. Nothing happened. Then Caleb Plant hit David a couple of times low, and you know, no warning, no nothing. You know, it's like I mean, we were there to lose, bro, to be honest with you. But David's an animal. He adjusted and he delivered, and you guys seen what happened.
So the fight's continuing. It seems very apparent, like, hey, you know, David's in control now. The rhythm's going his way. He's putting his punches together now. I believe, I don't know if it was like in the 10th or the 11th, or maybe it might have been earlier, where Caleb is a little hurt and then they call a break because of a headbutt. I feel maybe without that break, it could have, maybe you guys could have ended up stopping him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he says it's a headbutt. I never seen the replay. I never seen that. They always do, you know. So it was just accumulation of punches, and I mean, he saved them a couple of times, man, when he was hurt, and you know, at the end of the day, I think he hurt Caleb Plant because he took a beating. I think it was best to just stop him and not receive a lot of punishment. Now I feel bad for Caleb Plant. I like Caleb Plant, you know, but I think the corner was ready to stop the fight too, and they didn't stop it. I think they should have stopped that fight because there was no way he was going to win. At the end of the day, it looks good for us because they would have said that they stopped it earlier. And like I said, you know, he ended up in the hospital, and thank God he's okay. And I wish him to be good and all that. Like I said, you know, my respects to him. It's a warrior. It was a great fight, but at the end of the day, we got the victory, and that's what we're looking for. He was looking for the same. It was a great fight. It was an exciting fight.
Around what round do you feel it should have been stopped? In
I
your
think it should
opinion?
have been stopped like in the ninth, maybe. Uh, so he uh, so he took like maybe three rounds of punishment. You know, he was just there surviving. You know, and he didn't know what to do. You know, he wanted to grab. David would catch him with every shot. He was just there, man. And like I said, you know, I think he did receive a lot of punishment. You know, he didn't have to take that.
Yeah, he took a lot of punishment, and I think, I don't know if it was like in the 11th or the 12th round. Like I was watching, and I think Caleb just made the decision, like, hey, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out, because he started slugging with David, and I thought like, oh wow, that's it. Like he's made the decision, like, hey, I'm gonna go out on my shield here.
Oh yeah, when you have somebody, you know, the referee try to protect them, try to do everything he could do, and that didn't help. The corner didn't do anything, so he's like, "Fuck, this guy's gonna kill me." So shit, I gotta defend myself, you know. So I think that's what he did, and my respects. And like I said, you know, he's a great fighter. I'm pretty sure he'll give anybody problems, you know. The experience that he has, and everything that he's going through, he's a guy that maintains, and you know, he's very dedicated to the game, and I think he will definitely bounce back and do big things.
Was there anything that surprised you, or what surprised you the most about Caleb in the fight?
Well, you know, like I always said, man, you know, he's a good fighter, man. I was reading the comments, and you know, a lot of people would say that, oh, Caleb Plant's gonna make David look like an amateur. You know, David's not gonna catch him and do all that. You know, we knew coming in, we were working a lot on head movement, trying to catch that body, catch the shoulders, the chest, and not head hunt too much because that's what he was protecting a lot. So like I said, when the first 4 or 5 rounds was, you know, to tease him and make him move and make him think David's going to throw something big so he can move and stay paranoid, you know. And if you see at the beginning, David was throwing big shots, you know, kind of not really hitting, kind of missing, so he can have the, oh man, this guy wants to kill me, you know. So he can be on his toes a little bit more. And we knew from the 4-round, 5-round, we were going to put the pressure and now start cutting the distance a little bit more and really trying to hit those punches. And that's exactly what we did. He did follow the plan. And Caleb plan, I think, did what we wanted him to do. And then we just started to work a little bit. We cut the distance. We started hitting the body and being more aggressive. And when he was clinching, now we started trying to throw those uppercuts and body shots and everything, and it worked. It worked. And I think, like I say, his corner was ready to throw the towel. And they took a little bit more. If I was the corner, I should have stopped the fight a little bit earlier. But hey, it is what it is.
I know, speaking of both you and David, I asked you guys, like, hey, do you think, after this fight, you guys will be cool? And both of you guys are like, nah, I don't think so. You guys go in and you guys embrace, you hug, you guys got the mutual respect. That made me really happy to see that. Jose, talk to me a little bit about after the fight, you and David going up to Caleb.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, you got to respect a guy like Caleb Plant, man, that went out on his shield. He didn't give up. He came like a fucking warrior. And to me, that's respect, When we finished the fight, he came over and he said, hey, I'm sorry for all that trash talk and all that. And right away, immediately, I accepted that. And I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm sorry too, man. And he says, can you say sorry about my daughter? And I told him, you know what, I never said anything about your daughter. I don't know who made that up. But you know what? If you want to hear that, I'm going to say it from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm sorry. And then he's like, oh, thank you, man. And then, he says, yeah, you might not want to be my friend, but, I respect you guys. And I said, no, I want to be your friend. If you want to be my friend, I'm your friend, And I told him too, when you're doing your interview, if you want me, I would definitely say that in front of everybody. I'm sorry. And I did. But unfortunately, they kind of went through something else and I couldn't do it. You could only hear my voice, but I was super happy and satisfied that there's no hate. There's nothing at the end of the day. For 5 years, man, I had all that in my heart. And finally, I let it out. And I feel very good, man. And I like that guy, man. To be honest with you, I wish him nothing but the best. A great warrior. And it was a great fight.
Yeah, it was great to see, man. And it really showed the maturity, too, of David. Because maybe a few years back, he would have maybe not done that. With Caleb. So, when I was looking at the fight, I was like, wow, David's really, really matured a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super happy that he did that also, at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell him what to do. And he chose to do that. That makes me feel really happy too, man. And, man, I just feel bad for him now, like I said, but that's boxing, Thank God, we took care of it inside the ring and everything's good. And he's a great guy. He's trying to do the same thing that we're trying to do, provide for his family. And I wish him nothing but the best.
After the fight, when you guys, you and David and Junior are there, what are you guys saying to each other about the fight and how did David feel about the fight?
You're saying when we're in the corner or right after?
No, after the fight, when everything's done, when you guys, the press conference is finished, you guys are all together back at the hotel, I guess what did David think of the fight?
Yeah, it's a big satisfaction, man. It's one of the biggest fights, one of our hardest fight in our careers, a big satisfaction, super proud, all that hard work, anything could have happened, and we feel happy. We felt that we gave the people what they wanted. It was a little bit hard, but at the end of the day, it was a good fight because Caleb Plant was ready to come and he was ready. He was ready for this fight. So everything was just running through our minds. David was super happy. I was super happy. David asked me, how did I look? How did I do? I told him, man, you did great, man. I mean, I was super happy, super excited. No matter how you win, we won. And at the end of the day, I think he convinced the people that he won fair and square. So that makes me more happy because we proved to people that David has head movement. He could cut the ring real good. So I think he's ready. He's ready for anybody, He passed his test and he's ready to challenge anybody.
Yeah, no injuries after the fight, no hand issues, nothing injuries, like that.
No, nothing, no cuts, no injuries, nothing I get paid. So we're ready to fight tomorrow again. That's good. That's a good thing. So I didn't think he got hurt or got hit or or anything, no cuts, no nothing. So at the end of the day, you know, that shows everybody that was talking about him being flat-footed and has no defense and he gets hit a lot, you know. I think, yeah, he got hit a little bit, you know, like normal, you know, like of course you're gonna get hit here and there, but nothing big, nothing to worry about.
So now, you know, you guys have been saying it. David said it. The Canelo fight. I think, you know, Canelo has said that his goal is a rematch with Bivol after this Ryder fight, and it seems lately Canelo's been fighting only twice a year, in May and September. Where does that leave you guys then with that? Are you guys looking at a Canelo fight in 2024?
Yeah, no, you know, we're not worried about that. If it happens, it happens. We would love to fight Canelo. He's the best at 168. I think that's the fight that everybody wants to see. He's a great champion, you know, the best, the pound for pound, the best, in my opinion, you know. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to make that fight, there's nothing we can do about it. David's a mandatory. If he doesn't fight David, now it's for real. If he doesn't fight David, they're gonna strip him out of his belt. I mean, if he wants to go out that way, leaving the belts and being stripped, I mean, if Eddie Hearn says that David has not fought anybody, that David is not to that level, why not do the fight then? You know, stop talking. You know, let's make it happen. You know, if he's so easy to beat, you've seen him. So if you think you can beat him, that will be one of the biggest fights right now to be made in this year, September. So why not make it happen? You know, show the people that you're the best. Go out good. I guarantee you that David is not going to lose to Canelo. You know, it's going to be a war, man. These two guys are going to come forward. I can't even compare Canelo to Caleb Plant with his footwork, you know. So he's coming forward. David's coming forward. So if he says he is what he is, come and prove it.
You say you guarantee David will win. Why do you feel so confident David beats Canelo at this point?
The reason I guarantee that David's going to win, David is a young lion. He's a young guy, 26 years old. He's a two-time world champion. He's faced now a lot of good fighters, and this was a big test for him. Yes, Canelo looked really good, finishing Caleb Plant with one shot, but he was losing that fight against Caleb Plant. You know, David finished in a different way that is maybe worse than how Canelo won. You know, it was exciting. It was really good. I think David is the new face of boxing at 168. He's young. It's his turn. It's his era. The era of Canelo is done. And the reason I'm saying that is because Canelo started at 15 years old. He has a lot of miles on his body. He fought everybody. Now you see him a little bit, you know, he was very dedicated, super disciplined. Now he's partying a little bit. Now he's spending a lot of time golfing. And now he has a lot of businesses too, you know, that he's investing a lot of money in these businesses. And guess what? Sometimes you got to travel. When you lose money, you can't sleep. So he has other things in his mind. The only thing that David has in his mind, becoming the best at 168 in his boxing. He only has one thing. Canelo has so many things, and he's wore out. He's wearing out. He's not the same Canelo that we saw last year, you know. Little by little, he's deteriorating. You know, he's not the same, you know, because he has a lot of miles. He wore himself in the gym, getting ready for all these big fights. So now you see the injuries. Now you see him lost, injuries, and he's not the same. That's why I guarantee everybody that David will beat Canelo Alvarez.
I would think fans would agree with this. A fight between David and Canelo is a lot bigger fight than Bivol. So I would imagine you guys feel that, hey, forget about Bivol. This is the fight to make. This is the biggest fight you could make for you, Canelo.
Really, in my opinion, I think Bivol should be the pound for pound because he did beat the pound for pound the best. I think his father should have got trainer of the year. Nobody cares about these people. Sad. But did the father get an award? Did Bivol get an award? But I guarantee you, if Canelo would have beat him, they would have got all kinds of awards and trainer of the year. Why didn't the father get a trainer of the year? Why didn't he get something special, you know? And who remembers that Bivol beat Canelo? Nobody even remembers that, you know? So I think David and Canelo will be the biggest fight of Canelo at this point right now. I think everybody wants to see it. All the champions, Mike Tyson, Barrera, Julio Cesar, all these great champions want to see this fight. So I think that's a big fight to be made.
Yeah,
And
it's a huge fight. It's the one that we all want to see.
I guarantee you right now, if that fight gets made, tickets will sell in one day. The arena or anywhere that they will sell in one day because everybody's gonna want to be there. Now with B-Ball and Ryder, I mean, everybody knows who's gonna win. You know, is that a challenge? That's not a challenge. So, I mean, if like David's so easy, why not make all this money and shut them up? You know, but everybody's scared. And everybody's like, no, we got to stay away from David. You know, we'll talk a lot of shit. We'll do this, we'll do that. Like Eddie Hearn is saying that David's an easier fight than B-Ball. Well, okay, well, if it's an easy fight, why not make, where are you going to make more money? With B-Ball or with David? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make any sense, you know? So why not? Let's make it happen. And then you could go with B-Ball. Since you're going to beat David, he's so easy, why not do Ryder? Do David, do B-Ball, right? Guarantee, money guarantee, right? But they know in their hearts that Canelo will not be David Benavidez, the Mexican monster.
Jose, I guess if it doesn't happen this year, what's the plan? I saw a thing that that there's already a fight potentially brewing with Morrell. Is that accurate?
Right now, like I said, you know, we already have a contract for 3 fights. In that fight was Caleb Plant, David Morrell, Boo Boo, and a possibility with Charlo. But if Charlo doesn't get his act together, I mean, he hasn't fought for 2 years, man. So I'm not gonna wait here to see when he wants to fight. He's fighting on the social media and all that, but that shit is not making any money for him or for us, you know. So I mean, we're gonna stay active, and if we fight Canelo, good. If not, he's gonna get stripped out of his belts, and I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna continue with our era, with our careers, and I mean, we can't be waiting here for Canelo forever. So we're looking at fighting in September, and if it's Canelo, good. If not, it's gonna be somebody else.
How likely is it it's Morrell, or how likely is it Boo Boo?
You know what? You know, our job is to get ready. That's Al Heyman and Samson to make that decision. We're ready for whoever they want, you know. We're ready. We're ready to fight. We'll fight anyone. At the end of the day, we have to fight these guys in order to keep proving ourselves, you know. So I feel good. I feel fantastic to be in the position we are right now. David is super motivated, super disciplined. You can see the motivation and everything. I think we're in a good position to fight anyone at this point. So he gives me all the confidence, and we're ready. Whoever they throw our way, let's make it happen.
And yeah, those fights are not easy fights either. Those are tough fights against 2 guys that are very, very good, especially Morrell.
They're super. You know, you got Morrell, young lion that's coming up. He's an Olympian. Boo Boo, he gives everybody problems. He didn't want to fight Canelo. Canelo didn't want to fight him. Charlo, he didn't want to fight him either. I could just do like Canelo. I think I could just go and fight European fighters, and I could say, you know what, I don't want to fight any Mexicans no more, you know. But fuck, we'll fight anybody. Mexicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, you know, whoever, Ecuadorians, you know, it doesn't matter. We'll fight everybody, you know. To be honest, we need to make history. We're here to prove ourselves, and we're not choosing nobody.
If I guess there's a delay, or we start seeing, I know, I kind of feel like we're back in like a Golovkin situation when like Golovkin was asking to fight Canelo, and it kind of took a little longer, a little delayed. If it is, or it gets delayed, how soon do we see David move up to 175? Because David's a big guy. He's growing.
Like I said, we have a contract for 3 fights. You've seen David 166 point something, you know?
Yeah, which was surprising to me.
Yeah, there's no problem there with the weight, bro. So plus you don't see a lot of muscle. So when you have muscle, you have a problem, you know, because you can't burn muscle that quick, you know. Yeah. So I don't think there's a problem. I mean, yeah, if they offer us a fight and do the revenge against V-Ball right away, we'll take that fight. You know, if better be it is like, hey, let's make it happen, we'll do that fight. I was thinking about Zurdo, but Zurdo now, I don't know if he's gonna do the weight. You know, it's too much. He's gonna stay focused, or I don't know what's happening with them. Those are the three guys that I was looking at. You know, Zurdo Ramirez, do the revenge against B-Ball. He beat those two Mexicans. Now there's another Mexican. Let's make it happen. You know, that would be big too, you know. But at this moment, we're thinking at 168. And that's what's on our heads right now. 168.
168. All right. Jose, you know, final words here. What would you say? You know, Canelo's having a media day tomorrow. What message do you want to send to Canelo?
We're gonna be there at the media next to him.
Are you guys gonna go? I was gonna say like what? But hey, are you guys gonna go to Guadalajara?
Nah, you know, that's to me, that's like begging. You know, I would not really. I mean, I'm not. I have no interest to go to Guadalajara, and you know, that's his show, that's his thing. You know, I'm not gonna go spoil his fight. You know, it's his night. You know, if he wants to fight, let's make that fight happen. I'm not gonna. You know, I would like to go as a fan, you know, to watch that fight, you know, and take a little vacation actually, you know, to go there, but not to follow him and put pressure on him. I would never do that. We could do it here and social media, you know, and all that, you know, but yeah, that would be great if we could go over there and watch the fight, you know. That's a good idea.
Yeah. David on vacation. When does he get back to the gym?
He just got back yesterday. He's relaxing, taking some days off, spend time with my grandson, and he'll be back like in about 2 weeks. He doesn't like to spend a lot of time not doing anything, and you know, he knows that he has other obligations coming up, so he's super happy, more motivated. So he'll show up and start moving a little by little, you know, trying to do other things, and maybe like in about a week or two. We'll see David, and as soon as he comes in, you'll know, because we're gonna post it and see that he's back in the gym. And we're super excited with his future now. You know, that was a big test that he passed, and with flying colors, in my opinion. And we're super motivated. I think we have David for a long time. He's only 26 years old, and we're ready. We're ready to test ourselves and see where we at.
Oh man, we're ready to see more fights with your son, Jose. It's good chatting with you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I want to thank all the fans also for all the support, and we're going to continue working hard and giving you guys good fights. And remember, David's only 26 years old, man, and I think he's at maybe 70% of his abilities. I think we have like about 4 or 5 years more to get better. So thank you so much for your support.